celebrate Trinity's inclusion on the National Register of Historic Places.
On the corner of Euclid and Washington in the Central West End, Trinity Episcopal Church now showcases an official plaque for their inclusion on the National Register of Historic Places. But it's not the architecture that deems the church worthy of preservation. Having notable involvement and advocacy, the church is recognized for their significance in St. Louis's LGBTQ+ history. Trinity hosted an unveiling event where church and community members gathered to celebrate this historic moment, because not only is it the first site in Missouri to be recognized for LGBTQ+ history, it's also the first Episcopal church in the country. So what was this pioneering work that Trinity led to have such great impact? As far back as the 1950s, when white upper-class families fled to the suburbs, the Central West End area quickly became integrated with more Black and gay residents. The area that Trinity is located was actually St. Louis's hub for gay bars and coffee shops. With plummeting attendance, the church briefly considered shutting its doors, but instead, they embraced a new identity by reaching out and inviting the local members of the community. But what really came to be a milestone moment for Trinity was one Halloween night in 1969.
So, the Halloween 1969, a whole bunch of my friends and I were getting dressed up to go out for Halloween as women. So, we got all dressed up. We went down to a bar on Olive called the Onyx Room. At 1 minute after midnight, I was walking out, the police came and grabbed me and I think 8 other people, threw us in the back of a paddy wagon. And I had no idea of why we were going and getting in this paddy wagon until we got downtown, and then they said that they were charging us with masquerading. So remember, it was 1 minute after midnight on Halloween.
At the time, and actually up until the 1980s, St. Louis had laws against masquerading, or wearing clothes of the opposite sex. A few months before this Halloween incident, St. Louis's first gay rights group, called the Mandrake Society, was formed. As membership quickly grew, Trinity would be the one to host their monthly meetings at the church. The Mandrake Society provided general support for the gay community in addition to legal aid, such as raising bail money for exact instances that Greg found himself in that night.
So, I'm getting ready to leave and the policeman says, I take that wig off of you. Take that wig off and walk out of here like a man. I said, in a purple dress and gold pumps? I don't think so. Got out my compact, pieced up my wig, and said, I'll walk out the way I came in.
I remember walking out of a service one day, coming down the front steps, just as the very first Pride Parade passed by here.
Ellie Chapman has been a member of Trinity Church since 1969, when her late husband, Reverend Bill Chapman, was a leader in these progressive events. Serving as rector for 20 years, Reverend Chapman also led efforts to care for the first AIDS patients in St. Louis in the 1980s.
It just means so much, I think, to the speakers who said what it had meant to them personally in their development and their acceptance. But I think it's been wonderful for this whole community to be part of something that has moved us all to be more open and more loving.
For Living St. Louis, I'm Brooke Butler.